What's up YouTube? My name's Quickie, welcome back to the channel. So if you haven't seen the last video, you might like to give it a quick peek, because I've got a little bit of time. Well, I'm hoping I've got enough time before it all starts going horribly wrong, where I can properly have at this and try and get the bugger done. I'm not going to go through and explain it all again, because that was in the last video. You want to know about it, go and watch that one. But I've got basically everything I need to get this sorted now, I think. There's nothing that's jumping out and shouting, you didn't buy me. There's got to be something though, isn't there? So anyway, you've already seen all this lot go back together once. Admittedly, there was problems with it, which is why I had to pull it all apart again. But oh yeah, there was a fella, what's his name? Tim Summer, I think, something like that. Anyway, if you go back a couple of videos and just have a look in the comments, I pinned it at the top with my reply. There's a few other people jumped in and stuff as well, but he's, well, I'm guessing he's new to the channel. He must be new to the channel, absolutely, because he just did not get it, like, at all. Does not get what this is all about. But he was banging on about, oh, you haven't got a clue what you're doing. You didn't wash it out all properly. You're doing it all wrong. I hope it's you that's sitting on it when it blows up. That sort of stuff. So anyway, I pinned a comment, so it's there for everyone to see, and I answered him, because I answer all the comments. I still do. I still find the time to do it. You might have to wait a little bit, but it don't normally take me that long. But yeah, so I mean, I was expecting to get a truckload of grief. I really was. I told the boys that as well. You know, just for getting it wrong, basically. So anyway, and he's pretty much the only person that said anything. So I figured, well, just pin it and answer it, and hopefully people will get the message. But the message is, just so you all get it, I am not a mechanic. I'm a welder fabric. Well, proper job title is a model shop technician. So basically we're making prototypes and jigs and modifying stuff and turning stuff and milling stuff and welding stuff and cutting it up and grinding it and doing all that sort of fabrication, basically. And obviously he's gone off on one. Oh, you don't know what you're doing. No, you're right, I don't. This is my first engine, right? I've never got into the guts of an engine like this before. Yes, I cocked up. Yes, I think I've fixed it, and we're going to find out when I put it all back together again. Now, you could still be of the opinion, oh, it's all going to blow up and blah-de-blah-de-blah, and that's your opinion. You're absolutely entitled to that, and I would encourage you to stick it in the comments. That's fine. I'm happy for people to know I'm not an expert at this. I'm having a go and trying to learn, as quite a lot of people do. And hopefully the videos help somebody out, or you know, it's just entertaining or something like that. But that's what's going on. So yeah, you're right in what you said. No, I don't really care. You know, I don't mind making mistakes as long as I learn from it and don't do it again. I'm happy with that. So we're just carrying on. So a lot of these videos is going to be like a time-elapse type thing, because I need to get on and get all this stuff done without a great deal of yap, so I've probably gone on too long anyway. But as something comes along and I get to a point that people have commented on, I'm going to bring you back then and have a little yap about it, and you know, show you or tell you or do what you said to do or whatever. That doesn't mean I'm going to follow everybody's comments to the gospel, because I think some of you is wrong. But if there is something like that, at least I'll tell you why I think it's wrong and why I'm doing what I'm doing. And, you know, you can sort of decide and kind of go from there, really. There's a few bits I do want to mention, but we'll get to them when we get to them. But right now, I need to start buttoning everything back up again. So, cue the music and cue the time-lapse. was still chipping in about this chain tensioner. Apparently this is a known issue, same as second gear, but second gear is all right on this. Oh, it was fifth that was the problem. But apparently these bolts here are supposed to be thread locks, which these ones are, and they're all bolted down and everything else. However, apparently with this chain tensioner start flapping about, you can hear it once it starts to go. But if you don't do anything with it, then these bolts can shake themselves loose, the whole lot comes off and it just bounces round inside the casing, causing untold amounts of damage. There is a thing you can get called a tension tamer, which is a little block of alley that replaces this. It's got a pin and a hole and a bolt through it, and essentially you're just replacing this sort of triangular bracket on the bottom basically. And there is a modification that you can do to this as well, but stock should work. And I've had a chat with a couple of mechanics about this as well, just because, you know, I wanted to get their experience of it basically. And they said, well, if the stock one is working okay, which this one is, why change it? Just leave it alone. If you get a problem, then look into it. So I've got a couple of bookmarks. If something does start happening, I will go down that route. But here and now, stock is going to do me, because it's fine. It's behaving itself. Why change it? Right, they're all torqued up. They're torqued up. He's done and released. Yes. So I think it's just gasket and cover. Yeah, gasket and cover. Right. Right, I am having a nightmare with the camera. It keeps overheating. It's too hot in here. I haven't got a fan or anything, I've just got an airline. So every now and then I look at the camera and it's not recording anymore, because I do all this on my phone. And he just says, yeah, I'm too hot, I'm turning off now. So I've been cooling it down with the airline. Put him on the vice, best place for him. Right, so gaskets. There was another comment was, oh, you didn't put a gasket in there. Well, I did. Honest, I did. Look, here's the old clutch one. He's there. I've got another gasket on there. You can probably see it just there. But I can understand why people think I didn't. Probably just because of the way that I'm doing it. So if you was to have this cover off, I ain't doing it again. But there aren't any dowels sticking out the main crankcases. So the way I do it is I get the cover, I put the gasket on the cover, stick a couple of bolts through just opposite, so it keeps the gasket aligned. It don't matter if they're the right ones or not, as long as they stick far enough through. And then just wind them in a couple of turns, push the cover down so I know that the gasket is where it needs to be, and then I'll just go around and put the bolts in the right holes. That's it. So when you see me putting the covers on, there could well be a gasket on it. One that people was going on about quite a bit. Where's my razor blade? Oh, he's on the floor. Right, so this is the gear shift mechanism cover, basically. And this one has got dowels on it, as you can see on there. So in that case, I put the gasket on the cover just so it locates on the dowel. Shove a bolt in the other side, because there's only one dowel on there. Well, actually, is there another one? I can't remember. Yeah, sorry, there's another dowel on the other side. So I want to just show, you know, because obviously one dowel is in this side, one dowel is on that side. So it would have been gasket on the cover on that one dowel, bolt in an opposite hole, just to locate it, and then it would all go on. But if you look, there is a gasket on it. I didn't miss it. Honest, it's on there. It's just you didn't see me put it on. So yeah, that hopefully explains that. So these, all I've done is I've just wound bolts in for now. I've got to go around and torque them up, which is fine. That'll just be a crisscross pattern. What else was I going to say? Oh yeah, this Tim Summer fella, I'm sure it's Summer, it's something like that. One of his part of his comment was, I hope it's you who's sitting on it when it blows up, which I thought was a bit, you know, you don't want anybody sitting on a bike when it blows up. But if it is going to blow up, it will be me that's sitting on it, basically because I'm not getting rid of it. This is my daily. And apart from that, I would have thought it would have blown up when we redid the top end, not the gearbox, not the bottom end of it. The crank hadn't been out or anything, but if it's going to go pop, I would have thought it would have been when we did the top end. He's obviously got a bee in his bonnet about. I don't know what he does. He could well be a mechanic, I don't know. because like you speak to them. I'm not being horrible to mechanics when I say this at all. I think they're very clever fellas, but mechanics do tend to kind of, this is how I do it, and that's the only acceptable way in my eyes. Now I know there's people out there that's going to go, well, there's 100 different ways of getting the same job done, as long as the result's the same, who cares? Well, I sort of disagree with that as well. The manual tells you how to do it, and the problem that I had is I didn't follow the manual. A little bit of goo. There we go. That's basically where I went wrong with the gearbox and why I had to pull it all apart again. Had I followed the manual, I wouldn't have to be doing all this lot. It would have been done and on the road already. But yeah, all this, 100 ways of getting the job done and doing it right, I don't necessarily think that's right. I guess there's some little things that you can do that don't really matter. Like putting the gaskets on, for example. Do you stick it on the cover or do you stick it on the cases? Well, I just stick it where the dowels are, and if there's no dowels I use bolts and it goes on the cover. But I'm sure there's going to be some people who says no, it always goes onto the casing. Well, fair enough. If that's the way you do it and it works, then happy days. But the manual's not specific about it, so if the manual's not specific about it, in my head it don't really matter that much. Comments are going to go mad again now. Right, let's talk this up. What was you? Are you still going? Yes. There is a thing flashing. You might go off. I don't know. Right, so it is now, what, 5 to 4? I woke up yesterday at 7 AM to go and jump in the pool. It is now basically 5 to 4 the following day, and I've not been to bed since. So I am officially knackered, loads of driving, and I'm hungry because airport food is rubbish. So I'm going to be tipping off and going and have my scoff. I will go through the other videos and stuff, just because there was loads of little bits that people were picking out, which I thought was really good, that would probably help other people. There's stuff like how I put the oil filter together. I did get it wrong, but I was basically copying what was there before. So, whoever did it before me, they got it wrong. There's a washer missing for a start. I will go through the videos. Oh, hello. I will go through the videos and just have a look at the comments, and if I can answer any stuff or address anything that was mentioned in there, then happy to do so. As far as people dropping shitty comments and stuff, like Tim, I don't really care. I really don't care. Tim, if you go back and have a look at earlier videos and stuff, go back and have a look at the introductory one for the channel. That lays it out lovely. Basically, I'm not a mechanic, I'm not an engineer, I'm trying to learn and I'm trying to find my way, and so far I've not done too bad. Yes, I have made a couple of cock-ups, but if I make a cock-up, it is going in a video and you will see it and you can take the piss out of it. I don't care. I really don't care. Anybody else who is trying to learn how to do all this stuff is going to make mistakes. It's not all, sunshine and rainbows and pixies holding hands and God knows what else. You're going to cock it up occasionally. And I'm quite happy to include them, just because I think it's an honest way to be. And if someone's having a go, like there's a few fellas that have been watching this channel and they've gone, I'm inspired to have a go at fixing my own bike, and it's like, oh, okay, we'll take what I'm saying with a pinch of salt. None of the videos that I do is ever going to be a how-to, and that's something that I think you don't understand. This isn't a how-to channel. This is just showing you what I get up to in here. If you don't like it, don't watch. If you want to take the mick out of it, have at it. If you want to tell me I've done something wrong, tell me. I will check that you're right. And if I've got it wrong, I will go back and I'll do it again. I'm quite happy with that. That's how you learn. Well, that's how I learn anyway. So anyway, I'm not having a poke at you, because I'm not. I just want to make sure you get it, basically. Because if you got it wrong, somebody else could well have it wrong as well, and I don't want that. So I want it all to be above board and everybody get where we're coming from on this. So that's it. That's where I'm going to leave it for this one. I do hope you're well and staying safe, and we will see you on the next one. Laters!